Hello and welcome back, everyone. We got map 3 just about ready to go. We're still kind of reeling from that last one. Very different map. First map went to VersionX rather well for them. 13-8, so still kind of close, but there's a period of domination. Okay. Second map on Haven, close to being a perfect map for Grande Perfume. A 13-1. And even on the one that VersionX got, I think there was a chance that HEP could have also won it. Just completely different. I actually have no idea how we're supposed to read map 3, especially because that is not a map, I believe, that they played on before with each other. So there's not like a lot of data between the two teams. So I don't know. Let's talk about like mentality for a second. Epitomes. What do you think VersionX is going to be? What did they do during the break? What are they thinking going into this?
Personally, I'm a very tiltable player. If I start losing, I will end up at the end of the session just on the floor, sobbing my eyes out. So I hope VersionX is not doing that. Since, I mean, it's easier when you're playing together as a team, right? You can like kind of keep each other in check, make sure that you're not tilting. But it feels like some of the plays that we were seeing were kind of like tilted plays per se. It was like running it down, you know, just a little bit. So I hope that they reel it back in for Ascent. I feel like Ascent is a more familiar map for anyone, and they just need to like take a deep breath, reset, see it as like a best of one game instead of like 2 games that they just played.
Yeah, I guess so. That would be the best way to do it. And Gompers, you know, maybe again VersionX, they maybe weren't so bad off to the beginning of the last map, but it quickly deteriorated. Maybe they were thinking back to the last time they played each other, like, oh, we lost Haven then too, okay, and they just get more and more tilted. But now it's a fresh map. Now it is a map that they haven't, you know, played on between each other. So do we think that the mentality reset is there? And in the same vein, for AGP, do you think their confidence and just like snowball effect is still going to be running here?
To be honest with you, I think, you know, obviously 5-10 minutes to be able to get your mental back together, coming into this game and discussing, okay, well, you know, what did we do wrong, whatever. Man, that's a hard one, because even if their mental comes back strong, it could easily deteriorate if it does like the way that it did on the map of Haven. So it is, yeah, their mental, they're going to come back strong, they're going to try to win it out, they're going to play, you know, to their heart's extent, but also, can they really keep that, you know, as long as they can?
It sounds kind of like you're saying that, you know, the first couple of rounds of this third map are going to be really important, because that'll kind of tell us VersionX have their mentality back, as well as for VersionX. Okay, yeah, this is that last map could be a fluke, guys. We're fine. We're up 2 after a pistol or something like that. Which I would have to agree with. I think that first round, the very first round, maybe even the agent select, is actually going to tell us a little bit about their mentality. But anyways, let's focus in on some of the data that we do have from both teams, not against each other, but just overall in the tournament. Epitomes coming into Ascent. What are the 2 performers here? What are the teams like on that map?
I mean, Wavy had a huge game last game, and that was definitely like really pop off, especially with the amount of 4Ks and even that ace at the very beginning. And I feel like that might have been what started it all. Wavy's ace, and you just get like aced on your buy-up round, and you're like, I don't know what's happening. I keep getting comboed by Fade and Raze, and I don't know how to stop it except not stand there. So it's like, it's really tough.
Yeah. All right, well, it's definitely going to be a wild ride here. It feels like everything has been reset, hopefully anyways, for VersionX, as we all head into map 3, the deciding map of who is going to be crowned champion for October. Let's get into it.
Oh my. Another day.
Another day.
We're going to Ascent. Did we get any votes on our anime voice?
No, I think majority of people were on the against side. They were like, I can't stand dub voices. Me neither.
Oh, dang. I do a really good one, you know.
Yeah, it hurts.
Gets the ladies roaring, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, the ladies.
Because, you know, I'm Boruto, but
yeah,
it's fine. I understand. You know what is also interesting? The choice of Duelist. What are your thoughts on a Raze or a Jet?
I definitely think we see.
Choose your
It's a good idea for Bungie to not go for the Jet again, because I
Yeah.
feel like if you do see her back on that agent, it might be a little bit of a tilter, you know, already having such a bad performance before, and you're like, oh god, I'm back on this agent that I just like did so badly with. I don't know what I can do here. But Wavy switching onto the Jet this time, definitely interesting. Also, look at Ariana Grande Perfume. They have such like a dark color palette, you know, it's a cool color palette with their team. This is something that I've always noticed whenever I look at a team composition. I'm always like, yeah, that team has a warm color palette, this team has a cold color palette.
Maybe that's why. That's why they're not winning it out, you know?
They're on a cold streak.
They're on a cold streak. Well, it is the winter. Winter's coming. So maybe, you know, they just had a little bit of a setback because of global warming. Now they're coming back because it's December or November or October.
Yeah, it is October. That is true. That is a fact.
Not anymore.
No, what? No, it is. What? What do you mean it's not anymore? What?
It's done. We're done here.
Okay, Gompers has made the executive decision to end October. Sorry for those of you who missed out on Halloween.
It's Christmas time. Forget Thanksgiving.
Lineup.
Oh, nice.
It's right behind Dice.
Yeah, they can't even put behind that anymore. An AGP. Already getting themselves onto site. That was a very fast execute.
They are definitely very, very in tandem here with this.
One enemy remaining. Last player
Really my
standing.
strong suit, but it seems like it doesn't matter. What I think, Panday. The frenzies come out again. Panday gets the frags. It works out good for AGP. Okay, first round one, and we talked about the first couple rounds being like the decider of how is VersionX feeling. I don't think it's over yet.
Yeah, I mean, it is just the first round, you know, and already you see them taking out the shorty, and you have Slays with the sheriff here. On the other side, Ariana Grande Perfume, full specters.
Is the shorty
it-
like a way to say that you're okay?
I don't know.
Like mentally? Is that
I feel like if you're using a judge or a shorty, you're either like having the time of your life, or you're like tilted out of your mind.
that
There's
might,
only two options.
that is pretty valid, actually. I'm the tilted option.
Well, it's still too early to say, right, for Ariana Grande Perfume.
Oh no.
2 HP. I mean, at least she lives, but not for long, right? Australis going to swing for the kill. Ooh, they're actually trading them back, though. Kay and Slays, they found 2, and Australis spam them down. 5 bullets left. Going to go for the reload. Emluo knows it's happening. There's the haunt. They're defusing. Australis just goes, swings for the kill on Kay. And this is a good first play.
They're suppressed. Go back to fighting bots.
Okay, the AGP. I think at the beginning that was definitely a little tilting. I would assume so. You know, you throw your molly out and Emlu gets caught in the crossfire. It's super unfortunate. Couldn't even do anything sitting in that moment. So, and it's a little weird too because we're always seeing Emlu be that, you know, main top fragger. They can't even get a pick as of right now, but I feel like with the Vandals out, this might be that opening to secure something.
Yeah, especially on the defense here with the chamber being able to just get that first pick, rendezvous out. Oh, close, close, close.
Close. Oh, the molly's nice. To keep back any players wanting to move outside of Trey. A little bit too aggressive there from Starlight. And Cade coming out forward. Later than usual. It's okay. Amlo sits around the back. They have lose some of that discipline waiting until they shoot their shot. The first one down. They didn't even close the door yet. But Miyu doesn't even care. AGP are doing a little too good here on this round.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really nice round so far. Bungie's going to come in. Maybe they can come alive for this round. Puts out the boom buddy right before that 0 point hits her. But still, 1v2 situation. Oh, finds 2. Has to go for the reload, down to 33 HP.
Oh no, it's done.
What? What? It was so close.
I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, the timeout.
Yeah, early
Oh
timeout.
man. I mean, they did come from a really hard run the last game. Like, right now is the time to talk about it, because once AGP have it, they have it, and they could run away with it. I feel like this is the best time to discuss.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this early timeout is necessary because I feel like what happened to Starlight in that very first engagement when they got taken down by a stinger, it's like, you know, it can happen. You know, there's a possibility that it can happen, but it's still tilting. And since they had such a tough run, they just need to take that early break, even though this is on their eco. And it was so close for Bungie too. Every single one of these rounds has been down to the wire. It could flip one way or another, but it has so far only gone to Ariana Grande Perfume's side.
Especially on a bonus round. Wow. I don't know, I felt like playing too close to the corners there for VersionX on the defense. Now leading them into that save round, yeah. Hopefully
they really need to play the range game. I agree.
I feel like they were too confident there, and again, it's the game. You owe your respects regardless of what you feel like the outcome might be. This is maybe why AGP have been doing such a good run.
Ariana Grande Perfume. They're playing so slow. I think they're just trying to make VersionX antsy, make them push out. Ooh, yeah, they were definitely trying to get that early damage there.
They have a lot of util to use here. They have the Nightfall to secure another round if they want to, but they don't even need to use it at this point, so they could save it within the next round and then give them even more of an advantage. Sitting within the corner, nobody's even paying attention. Knock, knock. Absolutely no one's there.
Maybe has snuck their way onto the B site though. You kind of have Luo playing very far back. This is such an easy pathing into their spawn. Oh,
30 seconds left.
That is so nice for Ariana Grande Perfume because they just even out the numbers now.
Yeah.
30 seconds left. What are they to do?
The biggest thing that you can do is get yourself onto the site and try to get the plant down. They haven't even cleared out boathouse. This is such a risky play.
One enemy remaining.
They have to protect and make sure that they can do everything they can in their power to make sure the spike goes down. It's good for Panday because they still managed to get it. But Slay's having the util to find the positioning of these players could actually assist in getting them some picks here.
Yeah, but throw that taunt, and then they know exactly where you're coming from.
Absolutely true. Well, they know, but some damage down. Although it's not enough, right? You're in a 1v2 situation. You use the only piece of util you have left. 27 seconds until it comes back. Not enough time. Oh, the tether comes down. The blind, the paranoia to finish things off, and the decay slowly rising.
One
Waiting for
enemy
the
remaining.
frags might just be the best play that they can account for. Yeah, it's absolutely nothing to do in a moment like that one. And Slays goes down as well, so it's an even bigger win for AGP.
Not even a gun saved there, and that was off the back of a timeout. I mean, still, it was an eco, right? So they make it a 1v1 while they only have sheriffs against this team that has full rifles, and that's already pretty good. They were able to catch Crisp off guard and get a few trades while they were trying to plant the spike because AGP ran down the clock way too low there. It was 30 seconds left, and I think it was like at 20 seconds before they even started getting onto that site. And now VersionX, they've taken out an operator for Mbluo, but it's a glass cannon.
Ready and prepped. Mbluo. Oh no, the moment Wavy peeks this, I'd be scared. Prepping themselves up. The jiggle peek was risky, but it worked out. Wavy got some information. Ooh.
1-for-1 trade in mid. They're losing some info by taking out that fade. AGP, we still have 4 players alive. VersionX as well. They have 2 ultimates though. The Cosmic Divide could be huge here for VersionX. They potentially just to stop them from pushing, but AGP is playing really slow right now.
Powerless. You lose.
Oh, Mbluo had a really good shot on that. Unfortunately, a little bit too extended over. It's okay, the null command stopping any pieces of util that could come out to stop this burst plant.
Well divided.
And right now, the only thing that they can account for here on the retake is going to be this wall. Crispy might just be able to find more than one here, especially with the wall coming down on them. The 2K perfect in AGP. 5-0, Tala.
That was such a nice play from Crispy to weave in and out of the wall to get themselves out of view of the flash drive, and most of them were just focused on that one player on the other side, so they didn't expect Crispy to still be lurking late on Cat, and I think that's one of the strongest points of Ascent is to have a player lurking on mid, and then when you come in for the late lurks, you can find those picks in market, in CT, and really take the pressure off of the players on site who are just trying to anchor.
Deviation from protocol will not be tolerated.
So many players up in mid. This is an interesting play from VersionX. Oh.
Get out of my way.
It means no flank watch, and Bungie knows that.
Brownie trying to get behind and roll the flash out to stop anybody up in heaven and allow Wavy to secure more ground. Slays goes down. Picked off. Life gone a little bit too early. Because now they need some of that security here. Playing onto the defensive side. Can they get the retake in? Everybody's so low. What is going on? Wavy does not give up. And K underneath the 2K down in a 1v1. But then again, we also have to talk about, you know, how low is Grande. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, this is so tough because now you have Ariana Grande Perfume already at 6. VersionX have already used their time out for the half. And I mean, K almost made it work there, but Wavy has been doing such a good job coming in, making that space, and even just re-clearing the site. K just had such a good shot onto both of the players, but at the end of the day, Panday can just spam down through the wall of heaven, and all of a sudden you are dead from a wall bang. Because Ascent has paper-thin walls. And now, Ariana Grande Perfume, they are looking confident again. They're playing a lot faster once again. And Mbluo, though, they need to be aware. Oh, they definitely are.
This is
Spike planted.
scary. 0-6. Already kind of given themselves an equal half. Now they need to try to get themselves 7-0. Crisp not giving up for AGP. What happened to VersionX? It's actually unbelievable to see these types of results.
Chris sneak.
That makes
One enemy remaining.
Doing perfect job, VersionX. And I think that was a good start off. No, they
Yeah.
can't even defuse it. But I mean, it was good. They figured out a way to get themselves onto site. Okay, yeah, we lost the round, whatever. It's still 7-0, so there is time to take a 7-5. There's time to take an 8-4. But as long as they figure it out now, I feel like they've put themselves in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, that was good gunplay from VersionX for sure, and they were able to have all 5 into the retake, which was really nice. As soon as that spike got planted, unfortunately, it just started a little bit too late, especially since you had Crispy. Somehow, I don't know what they did. I don't know what witchcraft that she had in her pocket, but she snuck past the trademark and took that Astra off guard, which I think was a huge part of them being able to play this time because they had to send someone back to kill Crispy.
So many tethers down on the floor. Just giving away the location of these players. They should know by now that there's multiple sitting outside of that P.
Here.
Smoked out is Mluo though. Or if they're gonna take the peek, it's pretty risky.
Mm-hmm. What can they do to refuse this entry in from AGP? I don't know, the B site's a risky one, because they managed to lose this one out before. He's gonna break the door. Wavy manages to take advantage of the fact that Slay's having to reload before they can do much. And already everybody down from VersionX.
One enemy remaining.
Chris can't even find. Not Chris, my apologies. Nobody on VersionX can find anything. A flawless round as well after they lose everyone in the last round. It's like you just can't pick things back up once AGP start to run with it.
Yeah, they definitely feel like they have a lot of momentum here, but AJP, they're like switching up their rounds a little. They're definitely slowing down the early rounds. Like right now, it feels like they're doing a lot of waiting around before they start their executes because they're trying to get in good positions and try to try and anchor and lurk around mid and get some early info. And it's kind of reminiscent of what we saw Tacticals always doing, this like kind of waiting game that they play at the beginning of the round.
Yeah.
But
See ya.
they are still playing a little differently. Wavy has taken so much space for this
Here.
team time and time again, though.
Terminus.
Oh, nice. If anything, Emlo is able to get shots with the Headhunter. But then again, you know, you wide swing out an angle, you don't have
Covering it.
anything kind of clearing you up. And that's what we talked about before, right? You got flashes. And I feel like, honestly, the KO flashes lack a little bit on the defense.
They definitely can. I feel like recent nerfs are to make them so the overhand
Yeah.
lasts longer because you want to flash for other people and not for yourself. But when you do that, it's a lot harder to go for like that swing with them so you can refrag. But I think,
Spike
yeah,
planted.
they definitely do lack a little here. And it's probably where Sky is a little bit more useful. Sorry.
One enemy remaining.
Able to get the spike down and Australis. That was such a nice shot right through the wall, spotting out the little leg of Astral when she goes into Astral form.
I ain't never been so confused in my life. I just think it's interesting how we see VersionX the first game. It's like, oh yeah, they're gonna take this home, and they do so good. And then it's like the other two games, it's a complete stomp across the board there for AGP. Of course, there's still time, but 3 rounds after getting a continuous 9-0 is gonna be so hard to get back.
I mean, the best they can hope for here, 9-3, right? And you hope you get cursed by the Valorant gods. But now, Ariana Grande Perfume, they have the Blade Storm out. They have 2 more ultimates, while VersionX only have 1 ultimate. Obviously, they can get rid of the Blade Storm using like a 0.1 health command. But oh, there was a lot of utility expended there. Blade Storm's gone. And Crisp, look at this! Going in all the way to the house. Knows there's someone there. Almost Starlight with the right click, but unfortunately, no.
No way he sees it. I don't think Slays. No! They didn't see Slays!
Last player standing.
Oh, never mind. They saw it. I'm running away with the op after getting a shot like that's probably the funniest thing I've seen. Oh no. Yeah, just playing for the exit frags. Could find one. I don't even think they know where Amluo is. No, they're gonna figure out
Teleport's
shortly.
ready. Not your best.
Well, chasing down Emluo, not the best idea, especially when they have the operator and actually know how to use it. So, you know, I don't think that they will be able to get this gun out of Emluo's hands, and we're probably going to see this operator in the next round. And now that Panda's triggered the trip mark, yeah, they know exactly where they're supposed to be. But Ariana Grande Perfume, they still take it to double digits with ease.
That works.
10-0. Will it keep going? I'm racking my head. VersionX. I mean, also, is Triggered is still on the roster, correct? Just unable to play? Or
Yeah, I
was it?
believe so. I think it's just like yeah, I believe that she's the can just not able to play at this point.
Spike down A.
Might be discomfort.
Heavy hitter and wavy.
They're just gonna wait there for a while. Okay, nice from Crisp.
Light swing it, why not? Taking control of sight. Okay, that's the 2 kills traded right back. That Slay secured at the beginning of the round. They've lost that, no refrag.
30 seconds left.
Things have to go back.
Yeah, I feel like there definitely should have been at least a little bit of waiting when it came to peeking that angle again to try to get the
Last
refrag.
player
That
standing. Spike
kind of left
down
no
B.
potential for anything to happen there for VersionX. 14 seconds left. I don't know if this is a good spot. Oh, never
10
mind.
seconds left.
Not gonna peek. He's just gonna hold it.
Spike planted.
No, I think
Yeah.
Our differences.
Crisp in a really good position once again.
Here.
I think these lurks from
Last
Crisp are
round
just
in
so
the half.
crucial to Ariana Grande Perfume's playstyle. Last round in the half, VersionX, do you think they can get anything here? All they have is a really cut divide. Slays might be able to get the Nightfall up by the end of the round, but otherwise I feel like this is just another round given away. It's potentially match point in the first half.
Focus now. Eyes off me.
Oh my. 11-0. I'm still kind of shocked off of what's happening here. VersionX, they need to pull something together quick. I mean, it seems like they're very heavily stacking towards B. Yeah, but one shot down. Wavy gets something very, very good. Everyone peeking out, only a judge in hand. Bungie tries to retrieve more than one, but an Odin just to finish things off. Panday is not playing around.
And they also resurrect Astralis right out of the null command. Nightfall goes in. Wavy wants to follow up.
One enemy remaining.
Because of that Deppin, and now Slays has been sniffed out. Odin spam through the wall. Ooh, okay, finds one.
Still waiting. Where are you?
Although Slays. 2 goalies in health here because of the fact that, yeah, the Nightfall can come out Give me the tether in so they know exactly where this player is hiding. Me, you.
Cover going out.
Just won't give it away.
Ariana Grande
Switching
Perfume
sides.
up to 12. Now it's
Match
to
point.
pistol. And I feel like pistol rounds are the least decisive rounds because it's not always all about pistol play, especially if you're there with the classic, right? But if you do buy into those sheriffs and your shots are particularly clean, then maybe something can be done. But even those ghosts, in comparison to the two frenzies and one ghost, and also we have to mention Crispy, right, with the Headhunter, who has just been finding insane value with that gun every single round.
This is it. A pistol round. I mean, they could win this one out. Here for VersionX. I feel like they're definitely going to perform a lot better playing off that attacking side. Already pushing back these players. Bungie going in by themselves. Such good isolation inside of the smoke. It's not going to happen. We're hitting a 13-0.
Goodbye.
Yeah? Are we? Oh yeah, we are. I was like, Slays, is it there? Can Slays do it? No.
Yo.
Welcome back.
I don't know. Chat, if you're out there, I'm gonna assume that you're like everyone on this broadcast right now, both on camera and off, flabbergasted, shook, bewildered, all those words, more synonyms I can't think of. That made no sense. I think you guys said that multiple times. That was a complete turnaround from game 1, map 1, to map 2 and 3. You know, and it's like, okay, one's a fluke, one's like, okay, we got in our own heads, but I don't know, man. Even worse teams in VersionX, of course they're a very good team, but they did not show up today. But even worse teams, usually are able to pull them back a little bit in that scenario, and they really could. It just got worse in the third game. So, I mean, very unfortunate for VersionX, but all kudos to Ariana Grande Perfume, who did the mental switch correctly. They lost the first game, and they actually, even in that game, kind of brought it back, right? But they did lose it. And then they said, like, let's just pick ourselves back up. We're good to go. And they dominated Haven, dominated Ascent, and I guess overall dominated, for the most part, this Game Changers Academy October. So now they are 2-time champs, which is fantastic. We will be getting an interview with a player from AGP as well. But let's try and talk about that best of 3, guys. Epitomes. I don't even know where to begin. Do you have a place to begin?
I mean, okay. I really think VX. It maybe just be like a lack of practice, lack of stamina, because I'm not really sure what was happening in this best of 3, because in the first game they looked so good. They fell apart a little bit in the second half, but they were able to pull it back. But AGP showed so much more resilience, and maybe there was just like a lack of familiarity, especially with the sub playing for them this weekend, and this roster is also pretty new as well. I believe they've been together for like barely a month. And so it definitely feels like AGP have more experience in that sense, because they've definitely been together longer, not the specific roster, but like definitely their core players have been playing together for a while.
I guess that shined through today.
Yeah.
And, it's definitely important to note, there was a sub today for VersionX, a little bit of a new team, new players working together. And that does require some, growing pains. So that's, I think, why they signed up for here. This tournament. But Gompers, with now 2 series between the two, do we have ourselves like a budding rivalry? Do we have ourselves a situation where VersionX is now going to be seeing AGP in a bracket and being like, oh man, again, like, are they gonna be scared, or is it a fluke?
Man, I think it's a budding rivalry. I think, once you go down that hard, you're like, we got it come back up from that. And it's just that competitive side of players. I feel like that definitely makes you go, man, like, you lose to a team, you really want to come back from it, especially a 13-0. That's insane.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen all that frequently. And again, like you chalk it up to a fluke in one map, but the previous map wasn't much better. It's a 13-1. So just one of the very, very most unfortunate things that broadcasts as well, because I know it's very easy to kind of just get hung up on like that. They didn't have performed too well, because that is unfortunately the truth. But it's one broadcast, it's one tournament. VersionX, I'm sure, going to just kind of identify their weaknesses and what kind of kept them back and what AGP did well, and they'll be back in form hopefully very, very soon. But let's highlight Ariana Grande Perfume as much as we possibly can before getting an actual member of theirs on and speak a little bit. Epitome's better performance even than the last time they won Game Changers Academy. So are they just on the up and up, invest now, get dividends later?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like a lot of the time in esports, you will have players that are always moving around, right? You have they underperform in one tournament and all of a sudden they're like, okay, like we want to move you off because this was such a big tournament. But I feel like if you stick together with that player and you are able to improve as a team rather than always have players shifting around, that team can become a lot better than a team that is always constantly looking for, like, quote unquote, the best player at the time. But like, it's not just about the best players, it's about the best team, right? Mm-hmm. So I think improving as a team, staying together. I mean, you even see it at the very top of the ladder with Cloud9 White. They've always been together, right? They had like one player transfer one time, and that was Annie and Bob, and they've always been together. They've been so good.
Yeah, and I was gonna say they lost something, but I'm not sure they did. They like lost a map, I guess, and they were like, we're gonna do even better, and they did even better. So yes, testaments to sticking with the team and just kind of working through any kinks that there might exist. AGP kind of proved that can be a good formula, and VersionX hopefully in the future will come back with whatever formula they figure out as well. But Gompers, you too, just all accolades to AGP, I guess, right? They really performed very well today.
They did. I feel like it's very evident in how quick those games were. I don't know, I'm just a little surprised, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be extremely close, and I'm not sure if maybe it was because of the discomfort by Katriggered not being there or whatever it may be, because I know Katriggered is a very, very big element of the team. But overall, maybe that was it. Maybe, you're just missing such a key player and component of your team that things start to go down.
I mean, do you think they're a key component, I guess, statistically as well as, let's say, like mentally and emotionally? I'm not sure if you have that insight, of course, but if you do, let me know. Because it sounds like it's so easy to say, like, mechanically this person pops off or they set up situations very well, but you have to remind everyone that first map was VersionX's. So it's not like they came into the entire tournament and they were just kind of like all over the place. So it felt like maybe, okay, yeah, they're missing a key player and that absolutely can offset your mental, but it happened so drastically in the midst of a series. Perhaps what they were actually missing was someone to be there and be like, come on, like, buck up, guys, like, we're good to go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're not going to do a losers interview, so I guess I can't really get the answer to that, but that seemed to be ultimately what was missing. Epitomes was someone to say, like, let's take a deep breath, let's calm down, let's reorganize, because they had their breaks, they had their timeouts, but it basically never helped them with such far-sighted scorelines.
I mean, if you like look all the way back, there is like something to be said about how Katriggered, Slays, and Starlight all played on the same team as free agents for a while, and I believe it was Starlight and Katriggered who got picked up together, but they used to all play for Polaris. So maybe that kind of familiarity could have brought them home a little bit more as well. I believe I don't know if like Bungie has played with them very often, but I don't believe that there's like that much familiarity in that sense between a lot of the VersionX players and like their sub, and they just had very, very little practice, and maybe like their mentals didn't work well together either. Like there's a reason that players aren't signed to the same team sometimes, and sometimes it's just that they don't mesh well. So you never know what's really going on behind the scenes, but I feel like mechanically AGP definitely brought the fire.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, some of the players really popped off. Again, that kind of highlight the positive qualities here. But at that last map, 13-0, again, in favor of AGP, Wavy looking very good on that Jets, and then Crispy. I feel like I mean, I've heard all the names so often from AGP in this finals. You know, Panday also having great moments, especially on that breach. But for me, yeah, Crispy. Kind of, I don't know about the whole match MVP. Actually, good question. Do you guys have an MVP of the entire best of 3? Gompers, you first, I guess.
A best?
Yeah, the MVP. If you had to award someone with a nice little medal, you know.
That's hard. I like Panday. I think
Yeah?
we talked about Panday a lot. I really liked Panday. I thought Panday brought the heat, so I gotta give it to Panday.
Yeah, certainly was a key contributor to the team. Epitomes?
I mean, I definitely, for AGP, I really liked what Wavy was bringing, especially in the later games. Definitely on Haven, Wavy popped off, but I definitely think that they were just making a lot of space. And Panday in that first game, in the first best of 3, was doing incredibly well. But at that point, we also saw that Wavy was doing really well to capitalize off of the utility that the teammates were throwing. Like every time we saw Astralis throw a seize, then you would also see Wavy going for that nade because they were trying to really combo the utility. And it was a little bit cringe, but it was also, it was for good reason, you know? It was cringe for good reason.
I don't know how often we say that, cringe for good reason, but I suppose it can exist. I'm trying to think of a good scenario.
It was cringe for the dub. They had to play cringe for the dub.
Yeah, okay, all right then. We're still getting the player ready for the interview. Again, AGP 2-1, sorry. All 3 maps played, but the first map and the next 2 maps, basically different series. Basically. I don't know if anyone can refute that. So I guess while we're, I think she's almost ready. Any last words in the overall series, Epitomes?
Well, I think that this series was definitely unexpected. It's honestly still very rare when you see a series go to the entire 3 maps because a lot of the times these brackets are very uneven and one-sided. So I'm glad we got to see that 3rd map. I'm also really glad we got to see Pearl for that first map. But overall, just very, very unexpected, not really knowing which way was up and down as it kind of went on, because first map, it was like, okay, VX. Second map, it was like, okay, AGP. And then third map was like, okay, AGP again.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes these brackets, unfortunately, we do have that kind of question mark up until the finals, and then the question mark is answered absolutely totally with a 2-0. This one, not exactly what happened, even though those last 2 maps almost looked like, if you had watched the final map and you didn't know that was game 3, you might have just been like, oh, AGP wins 2-0, right? Not even realizing. That was actually after VersionX actually already got a map. But this was, I think, destined to be a good story at the very least, if not, a couple of good maps, because they had played previously against each other, because we had that winner of a previous Academy versus the newcomer to Academy, and the newcomer is VersionX, and we had the classic kind of signed team versus unsigned team as well, and it really was something to talk about. I think we do finally have our guest ready, so let's go ahead and bring her on. I believe it's going to be Astralis from Team Ariana Grande Perfume. So there we go. Hello, welcome. Nice to talk to you again. Did I talk to you 2 months ago? I think so. I think I did. Yeah. So again, great performance for Game Changers Academy. Let's try and take this chronologically. Coming into today's finals against VersionX, what were your team's thoughts on it? It's good. No, I mean, hey, that narrow-mindedness, well, that's usually a negative. I think in this case might have been a positive. The horse blinders were on just for victory, and that worked out at the end. So the fact that you guys had played each other before, did that ever come up in your conversations leading into this? Yeah. Nice. And I wondered, actually, I legitimately wondered, you guys, in Pearl, it actually really wasn't working out for you for a few rounds there. And you guys kind of brought it back, but weren't able to close it out. So what was the feeling of that map, and how did you guys develop afterwards? Yeah. Okay. Little not so much, but now that you said it, I have to agree. That obviously sum of all parts here, that was your worst map. You lost it. But then getting into Haven, you said it, you're like, yeah, we beat them last time. Let's just get it done. Was that an optimistic feeling right from the get-go? Or was it still a little bit concerned? Okay.
Screaming, yelling. Just once the hype is up, you'll just keep going. Even
Gotcha.
if, no matter what happens, the hype is there, everything's easier, much more fun. When you're having fun, the game's a lot more easy to win.
I feel like that was something we talked about last time as well. When we talked, you guys were just so excited, and that kind of pushed you to victory. I think we are having a bit of a technical problem, so I just want to...
Oh, no.
Yeah, I want to make sure that's fixed before we continue on. Okay, so it's fixed-ish, which is a great thing to hear.
Ish?
Yeah, fixed-ish. So, just a TLDR to the stream. Charlotte's here doing great interview. I'm so sorry that it didn't go through, but you guys didn't really practice Pearl, which is an excuse, but that's why you looked a little all over the place on it. You came into Haven knowing that you beat them last time, and you're super excited, and you just came in energized, and then you got the 13-1. That's kind of what we were discussing. So yeah, you got the 13-1 on Haven. I mean, do you remember what score line you were like, oh my gosh, this is done, man? Was it the 6-0? Was it the 8-0? What was it?
The first round.
Really?
Because that's what I'm saying, we have such a morale, what is it called, morale train. Once we're up, we'll just keep going, we won't stop. And once we were started screaming and spraying and just winning stuff, we were like, okay, this is a train that's not gonna stop, we're gonna keep going. I think it was definitely once we got at least once it was 6-0, I remember looking at it and being like, oh, okay, this is what we need, what we planned for. I think we could definitely keep going off that, because mental derailing is huge in this. Thank God.
You guys are obviously good at that part. The morale choo-choo train, it keeps on going, man. But, there's supposed to be roadblocks. There's supposed to be people trying to derail you. And VersionX, certainly on paper, seemed like a team that would be able to do that. A few bumps in the road, couple of rounds here and there. They got one round. So, from your guys' perspective, again, trying to... I know you guys are probably more focused on yourselves, but still, was there any point where you guys were also kind of wondering, what is going on here? What is this real flip here that we're winning now, frankly, easily?
It's just no thoughts, head empty, running it down, honestly. Just swinging them. Sometimes we really do forget that if we swing them, what are they gonna do? Kill us? No, it's just it seems so dumb, but it really takes you a long way. We only lost that one round, and it was obviously a bump. We basically said, oh, this is what went wrong. It's not gonna happen again. We're gonna get 13-1. It's not. This isn't gonna turn into anything else. We're gonna keep winning, keep going. And a lot of teams, like when you have that roadblock, they keep kind of like digging on it and being like, "Oh my god, like ugh." Like, but instead we're like, "Okay, well, move on. Next. What's next? Let's go."
Yeah, you guys are really focused internally. So the next map comes in Ascent. You guys also have just literally 13-0. No roadblocks whatsoever.
Sheesh.
Was that again just you guys thinking we're gonna win this? No problem. No thoughts. Just go.
We're on attack, so like yeah, we're just running it down until it stopped working. Or like
She did it.
oh god, like it really like when we're playing and we're so hyped like that, it feels like a whole nother game. Like I wish I could tell you like exactly what we were doing and stuff, but when you're just happy to be with your team, happy to play the game, and like just excited to be there, you're just living in the moment. Like you don't really know what's going on, like stuff's just happening, and you're like, oh, we're winning, and then it's just kind of like it. Like we kind of just kept it simple, didn't overthink it. We were happy to be there, happy to play, and won. We won, I guess. We won everything, I guess.
Won very, very, very well. Okay, so now that everything is done, like I said, we got the kind of chronological stuff out of the way. Everything done. You guys dominated the last 2 maps. Absolute domination. Yeah. Are you ever going to be scared of VersionX again? Do you think that you got in their brain and you're just going to be better?
Don't ask me this. Oh no. Perhaps, possibly.
I feel like that's code
Just
for
a
like, no,
chance.
we're not worried.
We're not worried. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I think that's fantastic, right? Because I don't even think it's bad mannered. If you're worried about being bad mannered, I don't think it is. There are just some styles that work out. I'm sure VersionX a couple of teams that they're also like, oh, it's fine. We're not gonna be too scared of them.
We can't say that like we were just like, oh, this preload, like we got this in the bag. Like we were like, oh wait, we probably have to do a little bit more than we've been doing. So like respect to that. I did see some crazy stuff going on. I definitely saw their practice coming through on Pearl, where we definitely lacked. So they really trashed on us for not having that practice. Not gonna lie.
Right. So could happen again in the future. Maybe. But obviously we got something a little bit different in the future. I guess just to get your thoughts on it. Have you guys played around with Harbor? Are you excited?
No.
You don't care? Okay.
No, we haven't touched them once. Everyone on Twitter, everyone everywhere is like, dude, Harbor sucks. Like, and we just haven't even, I don't even think we brought it up in conversation. I think we all just like, no, like, don't even touch him. We don't want anything to do with him until he gets buffed. My take on it, I feel like he does more harm than good. He was kind of like the state that Neon was in, where like, oh yeah, if you get everything just right, like if this stuff bounces off the walls and hits perfectly and these walls don't damage your teammates, like it will go flawlessly. But the chances of that happening is so low. Harbor does more harm than good, in my opinion, in a team environment. He's too random, too RNG, which is why Yora used to be kind of bad. And in pro play, like, the RNG-ness, unless you can perfect it, he might be crazy good. But his ult is also terrible. So, that's my take.
Yeah.
You're not playing with him.
It seems that's the consensus. Even us casters, we were talking about it. Someone said he was selfish, and I was like, it's worse than selfish. Like he actually really does damage. To
Hurts your own team.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that you said it. Probably gonna wait for some more buffs or changes before we see a lot of teams start playing. So
maybe
that's very fair. Yeah.
Perhaps.
All right. Well, I guess. Second to last question, future of your team. All right, where are you guys shooting? Sky's the limit type of situation?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna keep going. We don't really care what's happening, what's in the way. Like we're gonna keep going until we're up, until we keep climbing. Honestly, being in a safe spot or getting complacent is like not our thing. Like we all get really annoyed when we're not like being as good as we possibly can be and practicing as much as we can. So we plan on definitely taking this harder because we've been aware of a lot of mistakes and we've been making changes, and we're definitely gonna go off of that. We're not making any changes that aren't good, and go forward.
Nice mentality to have. And last question, any shoutouts?
Oh boy. My teammates, I love them. honestly, like playing with them really makes me happy. Like it doesn't feel like I'm at work or something like, oh, I got a job, I got to do my job. I actually enjoy talking to them. We talk outside of practice all the time. Having your teammates be your genuine friends helps you a lot. It makes me enjoy doing what I'm doing all the time. But my coach helps us a lot. He's involved in the team, obviously. And then my boy Murphy was watching the entire time. Everyone that I noticed I was watching the whole time, I saw you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to my parents. When I went downstairs, my mom was like, yo, you just got like 4 kills. You're doing kind of crazy. And like my grandma texting me, she's like, what's with this game? Who's shooting at you? Are you getting shot at? Like stuff like that. Like it was great. Like it makes me happy to be here, honestly. Like there's nothing, I don't feel like I'm at a job and like just hate it here. Like I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here.
That's
I
awesome,
shout out
man.
everyone.
Yeah.
Love everyone.
You got the family, you got the friends, you got the team, you got the coach. Amazing. Amazing. Absolute pleasure talking to you once again. Congratulations
Thank you.
on your second victory for Academy, and we're looking forward to seeing more from
Yeah, baby.
AGP. Bye-bye.
Yeah, baby. Bye.
I don't know. I just thought it was really fun. We talked about mental VersionX and how it kind of felt like their mental slowly crumbled and fell apart. But I really enjoyed hearing Australia say, yeah, we kind of just started screaming like all of our comms that second game, and I mean that third map. So it definitely was a fun thing to hear. I feel like that's what you need to do. It's don't take things too seriously. Just because it's a competitive scene in a competitive game, it doesn't mean that you can't, try to build up that mental, because that is also such an important part of the game.
Absolutely. And Epitomes, any last thoughts here?
Well, I definitely really
Muted
enjoyed
to
that
us.
last best of 3. It was definitely a little bit of a stomp, so I didn't expect that. But at the same time, it was enjoyable to watch. It definitely felt like the teams, or at least Ariana, Grande, Perfume on those last 2 maps, was having a lot of fun. And the way that Astralis was talking about her team and their synergy was really good to hear.
Yeah. That's... I mean, you couldn't find a more bubbly, I think, player, actually. She certainly has got the charisma, and apparently all of her team does, working together, being optimistic, just being gung-ho, literally just yelling to actually get some energy going so they can bring back the series in such dominating fashion. AGP, Ariana Grande, Perfume, gonna win this one 2-1. Take home another trophy, take home $1,000 as well, and that's it for Game Changers Academy October. Thank you to everyone who watched this entire weekend. We hope that you enjoyed your time here. Thanks to the production working tirelessly in the background. Thank you to my 2 wonderful commentators, co-panelists, I don't know, Epitomes and Gompers, and definitely thank you to the sponsors, Verizon and AIM Labs. Thank you for helping to put on Game Changers Academy. We look forward to seeing every one of you back for the next one as you continue watching some excellent Valorant. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you for the next Game Changers Academy. Bye, guys.